Hello there, dearly beloved. And once again, we have our weekly Bible study, and we're going into a new study this session called Back to the Basics. Yes, it's just what it sounds like. We're going to look at some of the basic things that every Christian should know. I don't care whether you've been a Christian for a long time or for a very short time. There are certain things that we must know that is truth. You see, over the years, for a more mature Christian, you get all kinds of information about the Bible and various subjects in the Bible and people. And the thing about it is this: some of it is absolutely true, sound doctrine, and then some is kind of a mixture of sound doctrine and what the preacher or the teacher thinks. And then some of it is just things that are passed on from one Christian to another that are absolutely wrong and not found in the Bible. Now, a lot of people say, well, basics, basic. I don't want to go back to the basics. You know one thing? It's surprising how much of the basics we forget over time. A news reporter went out on the street to ask people three simple questions that a elementary school student could answer. And shocking, out of the 10 people that he asked, majority of them got the answer wrong. What were the three questions? Number one, what is the closest planet to the sun? Question number two, what colors do you mix to get purple? And question number three, 7/8 divided by 1/4 equals. A little something to kind of tease you before we get started. One of the basic questions that is asked by a lot of people is, does God exist? I'm always surprised at the number of people who don't believe in God. They say, oh, that's just a myth. It's a crutch people use. But you know something, when people are in a life or death situation, hospital bed, life is slowly slipping away. And they cry out, oh God, save me. And because we have a loving, merciful, compassionate God, He does. Then and only then do they believe. But I tell you something, God is a God who has many roles, many titles. He does all kinds of things. And one of his greatest models, you and I, human beings. Oh yes, human beings. You ever stop and think about your brain? That marvelous little thing in your skull that people say you've lost your mind, or your brain is exploding and whatnot. But just stop and think about the brain. There are 100 billion cells in the human brain, and its human brain controls the entire body: lungs, heart, nervous system, muscles. Very complex, very, really unexplainable what the brain can do. Oh, we have computers today. You know, we put problems in these computers and they do it in a split second of stopping thing. That computer didn't make itself. It was the human brain that designed, manufactured, and programmed that computer so it could do what it would do. Now, I like David. David talked about the human body, you and I. And go to Psalms 139. Psalms 139. Here's what David wrote in verse 14. I praise you because I am wonderfully I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. You know, when we think of God's miracles and all the things that He done, we don't have to search a lot of books or go to YouTube or Google it. We just stand in front of the mirror and look at what God has done. Go to Genesis chapter 1. We're going to talk about what God did. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness.